I'm a betting man. I put a box of 25 donut holes on this that he's not going to answer your question properly. You're willing to bet that, Spaz? Huh? 25 donut holes. Okay, we're on.
Well, I'd imagine you placed 25 donut holes on your boyfriend's anus before you ate him out. That's what I would think. But that's because you're going to hell. You're a heathen.
Spaz, you owe me 25 donut holes. Thank you very much.
So I take it that's a metaphor for nothing, right? Because there's nothing in a donut hole, unless they make. I think maybe they do make They call them donut holes. They're just round little. What would have been in the donut hole?
Right. That's exactly. You go to Dunkin' Donuts, you can get some donut holes, and you owe me a box of 25.
Hey, all right, you got it. What happened to Munchkins? Remember Munchkins? Gatling, I thought you were actually going to pick up some type of argument.
Yeah, Gunk. I mean, I'm almost speechless at the level of depravity in your mic. I mean, and I've been on this program for years. Gunk, I just want to know. You keep saying that debate faith is afraid. I'm asking you, when you keep saying we're going to hell, it sounds like you are afraid. Why are you afraid of debate? I mean, what's so bad about it? Why don't you just have a simple debate? How about just the basics? How about we debate uh, the sin nature of the Bible, or the moral attributes? Spaz, go.
Well, Killer, I listen to you speak and I hear an empty soul and I feel pity for you. I do. I feel a sadness because, your cup could runneth over and yet you've decided to dump it out and piss in it. And I don't understand that. Why would you want to piss in your cup? It doesn't make sense. Sir, you are a heathen among heathen. I mean, half these guys probably fuck goats. And they don't think that's a problem because if there's no God, what's wrong with fucking a goat? The goat's not complaining, right? If he does, you slit its throat and use it in one of your satanic rituals. I mean, it's not like you don't believe in God. It's that you celebrate Satan. You're all going to the lowest ring of hell. You don't deny God. You
know, this is pretty funny. I can actually find Christians fucking, reports, okay, of Christians fucking cows and goats and sheep. I can find the reports of Muslims fucking goats and donkeys and sheep, okay? I've never heard or seen a news article on an atheist fucking a goat or a sheep or a dog or whatever. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, okay? What the fuck? But I'm saying is everything that I've seen so far comes from the God cocksucking crowd. I've never seen an atheist, doing that. Now, I'd have to check on Washington State, the parameters of Washington State. Washington State seems to be pretty, leftist, and they're actually trying to get, mammal to mammal love passed, some type of law or something passed for mammal to mammal love in Washington State, so allowing men to fuck dolphins or cows or pigs or whatever, and women to do the same. On average, however, the United States is roughly 76% Christian. I really don't think that the representatives that have brought forth this bill aren't Christian. Just saying.
I was going to say that I don't think an animal can give informed consent, but I think one way you could do it is if it was a goat or a dog, if you got down on all fours and if the animal initiated coitus then you could reciprocate, and that would be some type of consent if it initiated something like that. Anyway, I thought Gatling was really going to pick up an argument, but I guess not. I don't think he's a Christian. I think he's an atheist. I think he's just putting us on. I really do.
Well, sir, you're clearly one who is also going to hell. You feel that humans are the pinnacle of existence, like this is as good as it gets. I mean, shit, dude, you were probably finger banging your little cousin, repeatedly and against his will because you thought, well, there's no God, nobody hears, If nobody's in the forest, does anybody hear me finger banging my cousin? And so you got away with it, sir, and you justified it. And soon you realized, holy fuck, if there is a greater entity, then I'm going to have to answer for finger banging my cousin. I understand what brings people like you to the precipice of the bowels of hell, sir. It's your actions. It's the way you've lived. It's what it will mean if there is a deity. It's not the fact that there isn't one and there's no proof. It's what it means for you if there is.
Wow. Unreal, huh? He's he's suggesting that an atheist is doing pedophile acts. And yet we see that 5 to 6% of Catholic priests are pedophiles. And the percentages are probably much higher because the Catholic Church has put some type of a moratorium on trying to discuss this, and to try and expose some of these people. I mean, they'll get excommunicated. So we also see a high level of this in other Christian denominations as well. Okay, high level. Well, I'm sorry, 5%, is that really a high level? That 5% is usually in anything is usually acceptable parameters, but I don't think so in this case. So he's suggesting that heathens can do these things. Interesting. So if heathens have the ability to do these things because of their immorality, their godless immorality, you would think that they would be in jail for doing this. Roughly 15% of the population in the United States is godless, right? So there should be a pretty high rate of heathens that are being caught, unless you're suggesting that they're extremely smart and they are avoiding all detection, that they can't get caught. Okay. Now, here we also can see that statistics for people that are interned in prisons, federal prisons, that the atheists are 0.2%. 0.2% of the population of the jails are atheists. Okay. 83% of the federal prisons in the United States are Christian. 83%. And it's estimated that 76% of the nation is Christian. So we have a completely disproportionate pool of facts to deal from. Okay? This is unreal. That 15% of the population would be less than 0.2% of the population in jail. And yet, 76% of the population has an 83% representation in jail. All right? And then we see that this 0.2%, okay, is that they're just not represented fairly. I mean, they're being accused of doing all these heinous things and these immoralities. But you don't see in the papers the immoralities. You don't see where godless heathens are butt-fucking each